This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. Let's get right into the news. All right, so Yo Gotti's trying to free 42 Doug, but he knows he can't. 42 Doug's in a lot of trouble. He has to just do the remaining year or two. He didn't like show up for court. There was so much stuff that he just didn't do, that if he had just done what they wanted him to do for getting caught with a weapon and stuff, he probably would have been out already. But he went on the run at one point, Anyways, we'll get to that in a second because he's crying in jail. It's not fun to be in jail. I know nobody thinks it's going to be great conditions. You should still have decent conditions where you can survive your sentence, right? But it's not going to be at home when you're having steak and lobster, And he keeps saying like, "Oh, they're doing this to me." Bro, you're in jail, bro. You don't have any rights anymore. That's why people don't commit crimes and go to jail. And now he's saying they raided my cell last night because of my post of saying, duh. Like, bro, you're like, you shouldn't be posting from jail. Rick Ross law firm said any post you make from jail should be through a lawyer. That's all. Rick Ross law firm, full speed ahead on car show, despite Fayetteville denying his permit, right? So he's gonna have this car show anyways on his property. He's trying to say that it's my property, blah blah blah. But where he lives, if you look at his mansion in Fayetteville, he lives way below the airport, right? It's cheaper to live down there, right? There's nothing wrong with living down there. I'm just saying it's cheaper, right? So he lives down there. But it's cheaper to live down there because you're more in the country, right? So the roads are very narrow. You're not going to be able to get so much traffic going through to the promised land without causing a traffic jam, right? So that's their concern. He has a huge, massive property, right? If there was just more strategic planning in place where like vendors have to... He has so much property. He bought a lot of property, right? So I think he bought an additional 100 acres next to his property. Why don't you make that the event area and keep the vendors there overnight and just have security so they don't come onto your main property, right? That way, I don't know, there's just not a lot of planning going on here. And busing people in that have tickets, that would make a lot more sense, and having an area where they could park. If you had more strategic planning, they probably would have approved this. But he's going to go forward anyways, and the police are probably going to shut it down. And he's going to have to do refunds. This is a stance that you're not going to win. I don't know. It's crazy. Lil Durk says, I had to listen to 4 times to the J. Cole song because I'm not that into lyricists. Then why'd you have him on it? Yeah, because you want that Grammy. You want that one song that could take your career to another level. Why is he doing a interview in a full... Why'd he rap his head? Like, this guy's corny to me. I'm sorry. He's like the Meek Mill of Chicago to me. Because, Meek Mill is credible for being from the street, and so is Lil Durk. But they get a little corny when they get famous. Lil Durk's always tweeting out stupid stuff on his Twitter like Meek does. And they do things to oh, this is cool, to wrap your whole head up. So I'm going to do this. What? You look like a weirdo. I'm sorry, I don't care if you're a fan of Durk or not. That is weird. K-Flock, this guy told on himself on Instagram Live, basically. So I don't feel bad for him being in jail. Because every time he went to the ops, there's a whole things on YouTube where people have compiled these videos of him yo, I'm on the ops block, and then something happens. They gave the DA all the evidence they needed to lock this guy up. He's loving jail. He's made a lot of new friends in there, and they're even dropping videos. 42 Doug, we already talked about that, where they raided his cell. Rich the Kid, another clown rapper. But he made it. He made it. He made it happen. Said, I'd like to make an apology to my best friend and my lover and fiance. This is Tori Brixx, the girl he has a kid with. He got caught cheating, right? For any disrespect, disloyalty, or any allegations or anything. I'm a grown man. I've done wrong, and I am owning up to this because, I guess the kid is his. I'm not like these others. I know when I've been wrong, and I'll fix it. I'm sorry. All right, well, you broke her trust, so now you're screwed, bro. There's no way out of this. You're in for a life of pain, to be honest, because she lives with you and you have a kid with her. This is Jordan Tower with JT News.